As cinema fans, we almost always try to look for the best, most glamorous side of our favorite actors. But throughout the history of film, accidents have occasionally occurred during production that have resulted in great bodily harm, financial loss, destroyed credibility, and even death. In this video, we'll be covering some of the most tragic injuries and accidents that occurred on film sets in the 1960s. The Alamo, 1960. While portraying the character Colonel W.B. Travis on the 1960 epic historical war film The Alamo, actor Lawrence Harvey was injured when a cannon recoiled while firing. One of the cannon's wheels rolled over the actor's foot and fractured it. He didn't reveal he had been injured until after the scene was finished shooting. The Siege of Sidney Street, 1960. During the production of this historical drama, co-directed by Monty Berman and Robert S. Baker, South African-born British actor Leonard Sachs was injured while shooting a scene set in a burning building. Everything in the room, from the props to the actor's shoulders and arms, were coated in a thick layer of fire-retardant jelly. Unfortunately, the special effects department neglected to apply the jelly to the actor's head, because it would have delayed production by 20 minutes, and they were keeping a tight schedule. Because of their negligence, Sachs suffered extensive burns to his scalp and hair while filming the scene. Unforgiven, 1960. While rehearsing a scene involving a horse, actress Audrey Hepburn was thrown from the animal and sustained 2 broken vertebrae. She later suffered a miscarriage, which was also attributed to the incident. Hepburn had to be flown off of the set and ended up spending 6 weeks recovering from her injuries at a hospital. Upon returning, she wore a back brace for the remainder of the production, and the wardrobe department had to redesign her costumes to hide the brace. Spartacus, 1960. While filming this hit 1960 Roman epic film, actor Charles McGraw sustained a broken jaw. During the scene featuring the revolt at the gladiator school, Spartacus, played by Kirk Douglas, can be seen forcing the head of the evil trainer Marcellus, portrayed by McGraw, into a giant pot of boiling soup, effectively drowning the character. While being pushed down, McGraw stuck his jaw on the rim of the cauldron, resulting in a fracture. But in spite of his injuries, he still managed to power through the scene. The Guns of Navarone, 1961. While filming an oceanic scene while inside a huge tank of water, actor David Niven almost drowned. He suffered a gashed lip that eventually caused the actor to be hospitalized with sepsis. Production had to be paused for a month, but Niven insisted on returning to the set to finish filming his scenes before he'd even fully recovered. He should have taken more time, however, to let his body heal, because pushing himself like that caused his sepsis to come back with a vengeance, and he had to be hospitalized for another 7 weeks. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like, and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. And stay tuned to find out what happened during the filming of a notorious car commercial. Cape Fear, 1962. What was supposed to be a simulated fight scene at the climax of the film turned ugly when actor Gregory Peck accidentally punched Robert Mitchum for real. Mitchum wasn't seriously injured, but said he felt the impact for several days afterwards. Flower on the Stone, 1962. While shooting in a burning building in 1960, Soviet actress Inna Burdichenko suffered third-degree burns. She later ended up dying from her injuries less than a month later, on August 15, 1960. At the time of her death, she was 3 months pregnant. How the West Was Won, 1962. While filming a gunfight scene on a fast-moving train, stuntman Bob Morgan, spouse of Yvonne DiCarlo, was severely injured and lost a leg. The accident happened when chains that were holding down logs on a flatbed train car broke and crushed Morgan as he knelt beside them. Lawrence of Arabia, 1962. Peter O'Toole was almost killed when he fell from his camel during production of this historical drama based on the life of British adventurer T.E. Lawrence. He also injured his hand during shooting by punching through a window of a caravan while he was heavily intoxicated. You can even see a bandage on his left thumb during the first train attack sequence. The Manchurian Candidate, 1962. During shooting of a fight scene between Frank Sinatra and Henry Silva, Sinatra broke one of his fingers attempting to pull off a move where he would have smashed through a table. Sinatra experienced trouble with his hand for many years after the accident, and it's rumored to be one of the reasons why he declined to star as Dirty Harry. The crooner had to have several surgeries to address the injury. Dr. Strangelove, 1964. Peter Sellers was originally going to play a fourth character, Major King Kong, in the convoluted yet brilliant film, but after injuring his ankle while filming a scene as Kong, the role went to actor Slim Pickens instead. The Horror of Party Beach, 1964. While filming a chase scene involving a car and motorcycle, members of a local motorcycle club were called in to play a bike gang. Trying to get to the front of the action, one of the bikers sped up and collided with one of the actors who played the gang's leader. This triggered a huge pileup that resulted in the actor and several other bikers' injuries. En route to the incident, a police officer was involved in another crash. The Flight of the Phoenix, 1965. The flying sequences in this survival drama film were flown by famous stunt and racing pilot Paul Mantz, who was filling in for his buddy Frank Tallman, who had recently sustained a leg injury. On July 8, 1965, Mantz was attempting a touch-and-go landing when the fuselage of his aircraft buckled during touchdown. The plane broke apart and tumbled, killing Mantz and seriously injuring another stuntman named Bobby Rose. Lieutenant Robin Crusoe, U.S.N., 1965. Cameraman Robert King Baggett, the father of King Baggett, was fatally injured while shooting in Kauai when a massive wave hit his boat and pulled him overboard. High Jungle, 1966. On September 28, 1966, Eric Fleming, star of the popular Western TV series Rawhide, was filming in Peru. While wrapping up production of the film, Fleming's canoe overturned in the Huallaga River. While actor Nico Minardo somehow managed to swim to safety, Fleming wasn't so lucky. He was swept away by the river's raging current and drowned. He was only 41, and his body wasn't recovered until 3 days later. You Only Live Twice, 1967. The title of this film is especially ominous in retrospect. While filming a scene involving a gyrocopter in Japan's Miyazaki Prefecture, John Jordan, an experienced Hollywood cameraman, was struck on the foot by the copter's blade. Even though Japanese doctors were able to reattach his severed foot, he had to have it amputated once he returned to the UK. Sadly, several years later, Jordan was killed during a tragic accident while filming 1970's Catch-22. Night of the Living Dead, 1968. While trying to ignite a prop with gasoline, which alone sounds like a bad idea, crew member Gary Striner accidentally set himself on fire. Actor Bill Hinsman jumped into action and managed to extinguish the flames, saving Striner's life. Where Eagles Dare, 1968. While filming a scene in which his character was killed in this 1968 World War II film, actor Darren Nesbitt was injured by a sack of prop blood that exploded with such force it actually temporarily blinded the actor. But more than anything, he got quite a fright out of the incident as he managed to make a full and quick recovery. Battle of Britain, 1969. While the British World War II film The Battle of Britain is best known for featuring spectacularly choreographed and historically accurate flight scenes, Spanish Air Force pilot Don Federico Iglesias Lanzo was tragically killed in a crash during production. Director, 1969. While you might not have heard about this 1969 Soviet propaganda film, it is notable for the regrettable fact that actor Yevgeny Urbansky died during production. He lost his life on November 5th while attempting to perform a dangerous stunt. Shark, 1969. This Mexican-American action film was never supposed to actually be dangerous, but unfortunately a stuntman was killed during production when he was mauled by a shark on camera. The shark was supposed to be sedated, but apparently he hadn't been, and after seeing the stuntman, he suddenly attacked, resulting in disastrous consequences. Pontiac Commercial, 1967. Last but not least, we have the tragic case of what happened while filming what should have been a routine commercial for Pontiac automobiles in Thousand Oaks, California. Actress Brenda Lee Meisenheimer and cameraman Rafael John Esposito were killed when a camera boom that was suspended from an oncoming camera car smashed through the windshield of their vehicle. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these accidents is the most shocking to you? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.